Chosen one, there's been an investigator quietly reaching out to your friends, co-workers, neighbors, everyone who truly knows you, asking about your character. And while that's been happening, your enemies have been absolutely unraveling. Why? Because every single person interviewed had nothing but kind, sincere, and beautiful things to say about you. While those obsessed with your downfall were busy fabricating lies and bribing others to damage your name, the universe was quietly gathering truthful testimony. Now, all of that is coming together to expose them for the frauds they've always been, leaving them staring down criminal charges they never expected. Reaching this powerful turning point in your life came at a steep cost. You had to make one of the hardest decisions you've ever faced, a decision your enemies still haven't forgiven. You had to walk away from someone you once believed was your destiny, what some might call a twin flame connection. It felt cosmic, like the universe had aligned to bring you together, but in truth, they were setting you up for the greatest betrayal you would ever endure. And now, the truth of their deception is about to be revealed in the most unexpected way. That relationship became so toxic, it had you questioning your own sanity. They violated your trust, drained your energy, and abused your love so deeply that you began doubting your own perception of reality. They manipulated you into believing their behavior was not only acceptable, but somehow justified. They knew exactly how to trigger you, how to make you feel unstable for reacting naturally to their cruelty, and behind the scenes they were documenting your emotional responses, preparing to use them against you in the future. You also had to create distance from family dynamics that were draining your life force. Maybe it was relatives who never truly believed in your dreams, who constantly questioned your decisions, making you second-guess yourself. Or perhaps it was family members who always had something negative to say about your choices, masking their criticism as concern, but really undermining your confidence at every turn. Now these very same family members are about to be exposed for taking bribes to spread lies about you. The decision to separate yourself from them took an incredible strength your enemies never expected. You recognized that staying meant being trapped in the same cycles forever, the same arguments, patterns, and energy drains that held you back from becoming who you're meant to be. So you made space for yourself, stepped back, and chose your peace over their presence. What you didn't realize was that your strategic withdrawal would actually give investigators the perfect window to speak to people about your true character without your toxic connections interfering or poisoning the narrative. As soon as you disconnected, something both predictable and devastating occurred. And now the evidence of their conspiracy is about to come out in ways that will even shock you. The very people you walked away from couldn't handle your absence gracefully. Instead of respecting your decision or reflecting on their own actions, they immediately launched a coordinated effort to rewrite the story of why you left. What they failed to see is that this very campaign would become key evidence in a legal case that's about to rule in your favor. It was almost as if they had been waiting for this chance their whole lives, and since you weren't there to defend yourself, they thought they could get away with it. With you out of the picture, your enemies felt completely free to paint whatever image suited their agenda. They told anyone who would listen that you were the problem, labeling you as mentally unstable, difficult, and incapable of handling real relationships or family responsibilities. Yet every lie they spun is now on the verge of being systematically disproven by a mountain of positive testimony gathered about your true character. They convinced themselves that as long as they control the narrative in your absence, everyone would simply accept their version of events and never hear your side of the story, especially since you seem to have moved on and wouldn't come back to defend yourself. They saw themselves as master strategists, never realizing they were actually laying the groundwork for their own legal downfall. Over time, the lies became even more elaborate and vicious. They depicted you as jealous, petty, and unwilling to commit to anything meaningful, questioning your mental health, your motives, and the reasons behind every choice you'd ever made. Some even spread rumors that you had used people and taken advantage of their kindness, secretly plotting your exit the whole time. But now each one of their fabrications is being cross-checked with testimony from people who genuinely know you. Meanwhile, your ex-partner was brazenly bragging around town about getting paid to spread these lies, boasting to friends at bars, casual acquaintances, and even romantic interests about the easy money they earned ruining your reputation. They felt untouchable, not realizing they were leaving behind a paper trail that would eventually land them in jail. Your family members, too, were working in concert with your ex, pooling resources, comparing notes, and plotting to turn your whole community against you. They documented everything, thinking it would make their case airtight, but in truth they were creating a trove of evidence destined to be used against them in upcoming court proceedings. This is when the universe delivered a beautiful plot twist that will make the finale of your story even more satisfying than you could ever imagine. Someone started asking questions. Maybe it was an official investigation triggered by financial crimes your enemies committed. Maybe it was a new person searching for the truth. Or perhaps it was simply the natural result of too many inconsistencies piling up in their desperate stories. This investigator, true to their title, began reaching out to those who genuinely knew you. Not just the bitter ex or resentful family members, but real people who had witnessed your character firsthand. The list was extensive, and for your enemies, devastating. Neighbors who saw your kindness, co-workers who respected your work ethic, church members or community volunteers who'd served alongside you, former colleagues who recalled your professionalism, teachers and bosses who remembered your integrity, and friends who'd stood by your side for years. One by one, the investigator asked the same kinds of questions. What was your experience with this person? Did you ever see them act inappropriately? Were they reliable? How did they treat others when no one was watching? Did they ever lie or steal? And what was their reputation in the community? The responses revealed a pattern no one, least of all your enemies, could have anticipated. Every single person offered not just positive feedback, but glowing testimonials that completely contradicted the vicious narrative your enemies tried to create. The investigator kept meticulous records, and now those notes are set to become powerful evidence in legal proceedings that will forever change the course of your life. People described you as someone who was always kind to everyone, especially to those who had nothing to offer in return. No one ever witnessed you losing your temper inappropriately, not even under the most intense stress. You consistently went out of your way to help those who were struggling, and your authenticity shone through in everything you did. What you see is truly what you get. If you ever chose to walk away from a situation, people knew you must have had a very good reason, because giving up on others was never in your nature. Your reliability was unmatched. You always paid your bills on time and honored your word. Others felt comfortable trusting you with their children, their secrets, and even their business, knowing you would never betray that trust. The investigator kept searching, looking for anyone who might support the negative stories your enemies were spreading, but instead found an entire community of people who not only respected and liked you, but couldn't fathom why anyone would speak ill of you. Each glowing testimonial further dismantled your enemy's credibility, making the contrast so stark that the investigator began to suspect something criminal was at play. How could a person with such universally positive references suddenly be cast as a villain by just a handful of people? The answer soon became clear as financial records started surfacing, revealing bribes and coordinated efforts among your accusers. Suddenly, the so-called courthouse of public opinion began to shift in ways that left your enemies rattled. The investigator recognized that the accusations weren't part of a balanced picture. They were the product of a targeted attack, completely out of sync with everyone else's genuine experience of you. The evidence was so strong and undeniable that legal proceedings were launched without delay, leaving your enemies to face consequences they never anticipated. The officials handling your case began trusting not just the testimony but also their own intuition and professional judgment. When every neutral person has only positive things to say about someone, and only a small group with obvious grudges pushes negativity, the truth is impossible to miss. Investigators had seen these patterns before in cases of fraud, defamation, and conspiracy. Your character was validated over and over by people who had no reason to lie, no agenda to protect, and nothing to gain from defending you. They simply told the honest truth about who you have always been, and that truth became undeniable. What your enemies never expected was that their relentless campaign would only end up exposing their own character flaws. The harder they tried to convince the world that you were the problem, the more obvious it became that they were projecting their own issues onto you. The investigators started picking up on patterns in their accusations that revealed far more about the accusers than about you. The investigation grew to include financial fraud, defamation, conspiracy to commit character assassination, and potentially even stalking. Those who thought they had destroyed your reputation suddenly realized they had only destroyed themselves. The very actions meant to bring you down became the undeniable evidence that would hold them legally accountable for their crimes. Quick pause, family. If this message is resonating with your soul and you'd like to support this sacred work, feel free to buy me a coffee. Your support keeps this space flowing with truth, light, and divine clarity. The link is in the description. And don't forget to drop the number 88 in the comments. Let's keep going. We are always here quietly watching over and making a difference in ways that aren't always visible. Here's to those who choose to walk their own path, not for recognition, but simply because it's who they are. Here's to you. The vindication you're about to experience isn't just emotional, it's about to become official, financial, and life-changing in ways that will shock everyone who ever doubted you. Right now, legal proceedings are underway that will formally acknowledge the injustices you've endured, and the compensation package being prepared will far exceed anything you ever imagined possible. The investigation has uncovered undeniable evidence of deliberate defamation, financial theft, conspiracy to commit character assassination, and coordinated efforts to damage your reputation and limit your opportunities. You are about to receive a compensation package that's much more than just money. It's an official acknowledgement that you were wronged and that real justice still exists in this world. The settlement being negotiated includes restitution for lost opportunities, reputational damage, emotional distress, and punitive damages designed to make sure your enemies never attempt anything like this again. The amount is significant enough to transform your entire financial situation and give you the freedom to pursue your dreams without worry. This victory will be so public that the very people who tried to tear you down will have to watch you win in the most undeniable and humbling way possible. Court records will be available for anyone who wants to see the truth about what really happened, and the same community that once heard their lies will witness your full vindication through official legal channels. Your deepest wish to be free from these toxic connections is about to be granted through legal means that will make any kind of reconnection impossible. The energetic cords that once kept you tied to people who didn't deserve access to your energy are being cut permanently, enforced through restraining orders, no contact clauses, and legal consequences that will keep them away from you for good. What the investigation uncovered was even more disturbing and criminal than anyone expected, and the evidence is so comprehensive that prosecutors are calling it one of the most thoroughly documented conspiracy cases they've ever seen. Some of your own family members had actually created a fund to pay your ex-partner to spread false information about you. They coordinated their attack with military precision, sharing resources, strategies, and even written scripts designed to maximize the damage to your reputation and future. Your ex-partner, lured by money and short-term gains, took their bribes without a thought for the long-term consequences, or the fact that conspiracy to commit defamation is a serious felony. This person was so proud of their so-called easy money that they couldn't help but brag about it to multiple people across different social circles. They told friends at bars about being paid to lie about you, shared details with casual acquaintances about their side hustle destroying your name, and even boasted to romantic partners about how clever they were for getting money to talk badly about their ex. They shared specific details about accepting payment to spread lies, thinking it made them look clever or resourceful, never realizing they were actually creating a trail of evidence that would utterly destroy their credibility and land them in federal prison. Every person they told became a potential witness in the criminal case now building against them. The money trail is extensive and incriminating. Bank records show regular payments from your family members to your ex-partner, each one coinciding with new waves of attacks on your character. Text messages reveal coordinated stories and strategies, while emails document planning sessions where they decided what lies to tell and when. They thought they were being thorough and professional by keeping records of their conspiracy, but now those very records are evidence. As the reality of legal consequences sets in, they're all panicking, desperately trying to convince everyone they once bragged to stay quiet about their admissions. They're scrambling to do damage control, begging people not to repeat what they so freely shared when they believed there would never be any consequences. Now your ex-partner is anxiously trying to visit anyone who might be able to help them as the walls close in. They were so brazen in their behavior that they even bragged about offering money to people just to keep quiet, completely unaware that this too would count as witness tampering, a whole new felony charge added to their growing case. Their desperation has almost become a spectacle. They're scrambling to erase evidence that now lives in the memories of countless witnesses, frantically trying to convince people to forget the very conversations that made them uncomfortable in the first place. What they're learning much too late is that you can't unring a bell or force people to forget the things you said when you thought you were untouchable. The scope of the conspiracy was immense. It included plans to sabotage your career, interfere with your romantic relationships, and systematically isolate you from any genuine support. They meticulously kept records, believing this made them shrewd strategists, when in reality they were only building a prosecutor's dream case, complete with a trail of documented premeditated malicious intent. But the universe, your ancestors, and your spiritual protection had other plans. Every ounce of negativity they aimed at you has ricocheted right back to them with a vengeance, multiplied by the energy of their own malice. Every spell they tried to cast on your love life, every curse they aimed at your success, every wish for your downfall, all of it has returned to its source with interest. The spiritual shield around you was impenetrable, so all the harm they sent your way is rebounded. And now they're facing the worst streak of bad luck they've ever known, a losing streak that's only gaining momentum as the legal case against them grows stronger. Opportunities slip away just when they seem within reach. Relationships collapse for no clear reason, and money disappears as quickly as it arrives. They can't catch a break, and deep down they're starting to suspect that their own attacks on you are the very reason for their sudden misfortune. Meanwhile, you've been protected from all the toxicity they hurled your way, guarded by spiritual forces they never even believed existed. Your decision to separate from them created a powerful barrier, making it impossible for their malicious energy to reach you. Instead, every bit of their negativity was sent right back, fueled by universal justice. As their world falls apart, and your life flourishes in ways they never thought possible, their panic drives them to increasingly desperate attempts to reconnect. This desperation is now piling up as fresh evidence in the stalking charges being prepared against them. Your ex-partner is pulling every manipulation tactic they can muster, trying to project fake grief and longing into your life, hoping you'll take pity as their legal troubles mount. They may try to convince you they've changed or even propose marriage or major commitments, thinking grand gestures will somehow erase the damage they've caused and persuade you to drop the case. But it's all coming from a place of pure fear, not love. You remain completely unmoved by their efforts. Your immunity to their manipulation is unshakable now, and it's driving them to even greater extremes. Your spiritual growth has made you untouchable to their emotional games. Where their fake tears or dramatic pleas might once have tugged at your heart, now you feel nothing but mild irritation at their persistence. Ironically, every desperate move they make to escape consequences only creates more evidence against them. Each attempted contact, every manipulative message, every insincere apology, all of it is being documented, showing the court that they are an ongoing threat to your peace and safety. You see right through their sudden change of heart, because healing from their toxicity has given you the spiritual discernment to recognize when someone is not genuinely sorry for the pain they've caused. You know now that their remorse is only for themselves. The reality is, deep down, they're not sorry for the pain and chaos they brought into your life. They're just sorry they got caught and are finally being forced to face the consequences of their actions. Their so-called apologies are little more than strategic manipulations, one last-ditch effort to serve their own interests, not to heal what's been broken. But this time, none of it works. Your spiritual growth has elevated you to a place where their tactics are completely powerless. Once upon a time, their fake tears, their dramatic confessions, or their carefully crafted stories might have made you doubt yourself or feel compelled to give them another chance. Now, however, you're so rooted in self-love and inner strength that their emotional manipulations bounce off you harmlessly, like rubber bullets against armor. You've become spiritually bulletproof, and their attempts to pull you back into old cycles only serve to highlight just how much you've grown. It's almost laughable to witness them, as if they're trying to cast love spells or emotional hooks at someone whose energy has become untouchable. Your vibration is now so high and so aligned with your highest purpose that their efforts to drag you down simply can't get any traction. You've reclaimed your energy, you know your worth, and their negativity has no way to stick. Meanwhile, the legal system is catching up to the truth, and the consequences for their malicious actions are about to become unavoidable and very real. Your ex, who once felt so invincible while orchestrating attacks against your character and orchestrating financial fraud, is now staring down the possibility of jail time. The evidence is so overwhelming between their own careless admissions to multiple people, the money trail of bribes, the coordinated lies with your family members, and digital records of their conspiracy, that they have single-handedly built the strongest possible case against themselves. The irony is staggering. The people who tried so hard to destroy your life are now the ones trapped by the very web they spun. Soon you'll witness the person who tried to bring you down finally being held accountable, possibly even locked up for their crimes. The energetic cord that's lingered between you, the one you've longed to cut, will finally be severed, not just spiritually, but through physical and legal boundaries that can't be crossed. This isn't about revenge or wishing anyone harm. It's about allowing natural consequences to unfold and restoring balance where there was once injustice. Justice is being delivered to you in the purest form, without you having to seek it out, compromise your own integrity, or lower your standards. While all of this has been unfolding behind the scenes, something beautiful has been happening in your own life. You've been attracting your true soul tribe, people who resonate with your light and see your true worth. There is a divine masculine energy stepping into your reality, a high vibrational light worker who sees the healer and leader in you. This person isn't drawn to you out of neediness, jealousy, or any hidden agenda, but with authentic curiosity and admiration. They genuinely want to understand your mind, your dreams, and your vision for the future. Their presence feels refreshing because, for the first time, you're meeting someone who doesn't want to compete with you, drain your energy, or dim your shine. Instead, they want to collaborate, to build with you, and to amplify both of your gifts. This is what true unconditional love looks like. Two souls recognizing each other's strengths, celebrating one another, and co-creating a life where both can thrive. This person is coming into your life quickly, bringing open and honest communication that will change the way you see partnership. They will offer balance, harmony, and a complementary energy, adding to your life, not subtracting from it. Where you once had to manage drama and exhaustion, now you'll find peace and mutual support. This connection feels easy and natural, a stark contrast to anything you've known before. You're living in an entirely new energetic space, a reality you chose by prioritizing your own happiness, authenticity, and self-care. Every day you're reconnecting with your inner child, allowing yourself to feel joy, play, and express yourself without shame or apology. You're calling in new partnerships across every area of life, romantic, business, and friendship, filled with people who match your elevated energy. Instead of dragging you back into patterns of pain or self-doubt, people around you are taking notice of your transformation. There's positive talk about you spreading in your community, and your story is inspiring others. Your glow-up is the topic of good gossip, and many are amazed by how you've managed to create such a powerful shift in your life. Happiness and authenticity are sending out waves that impact everyone around you, lifting the energy of those who witness your journey. Even the investigators working on your case feel a sense of satisfaction, knowing they played a role in helping someone truly deserving. Those who testified on your behalf feel proud to have stood by your side, and even strangers can sense that you carry something special within you. You're now using your talents and gifts not just for your personal benefit, but for the good of the collective, whether it's through your work, your art, your healing abilities, or simply the presence you bring into a room. You're making a tangible difference in the world. The investigator who uncovered the truth about you has become more than just a legal ally. They've become a believer in your mission and a supporter of your continued growth. You're finally surrounded by people who want to see you win, and the days of being surrounded by those who wanted to see you fall are truly over. Your journey is living proof that no amount of lies, manipulation, or negativity can overpower someone who's aligned with their highest truth and protected by divine justice. You have stepped into a new era, one where your peace, prosperity, and purpose cannot be undermined by the past, and where the universe, your spirit, and your community all celebrate your victory. You're finally surrounded by people who recognize your worth and genuinely want to see you thrive. This new chapter in your life is filled with individuals who celebrate your victories, cheer for your progress, and wholeheartedly want the best for you. Every time someone speaks positively about you, That energy reverberates out into the universe, creating a powerful magnetic force that attracts even more blessings into your reality. It's as if the same network that once spread rumors and falsehoods about you is now caught up in the truth. And the truth, with its undeniable power, is shining so brightly that it's dissolving the shadows of every fiction ever created about you. What quote s incredible is that you're protected in ways you never even realized. The universe has placed the right people on your path, including advocates, professionals, and spiritual allies, all working quietly behind the scenes to ensure that justice is done on your behalf. These aren't just individuals doing their jobs. They are people who have felt called, almost divinely assigned, to support you and stand up for what's right. You're not fighting this battle by yourself. There is a powerful combination of spiritual and practical support backing you up, ensuring your victory is not just possible but inevitable. Meanwhile, those strange and bitter people from your past can continue to stew in their resentment, upset by the fact that you are not only loved but thriving. But the truth is, their negative energy can no longer reach you. You've elevated so far beyond their vibration that their jealousy and bitterness have become nothing more than background static, something you barely notice if at all. You're living in a whole new frequency now. One where their opinions and attempts to sabotage your happiness simply don't matter. Their anger, gossip, and drama have lost all power over you. Instead, abundance is flowing into your life from all directions. Financial compensation for what you endured, new doors opening with incredible opportunities, authentic relationships rooted in respect and mutual support, and most of all, the deep inner satisfaction that comes from knowing you were right to walk away from toxic situations. The peace that now surrounds you is priceless, and the validation of seeing the universe deliver justice on your behalf is beyond anything you imagined. Good gossip about you is only growing, not because you seek attention, but because your transformation and healing are undeniable. People can't help but comment on the positive changes they see in your energy, your presence, even in your appearance, and the confidence you radiate. Your light is expanding, and the more you shine, the more others are drawn to your story. You are living proof that chosen ones don't have to exhaust themselves fighting every battle directly. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is remove yourself from toxicity, stand strong in your truth, and allow the universe to orchestrate justice while you focus on building the life you deserve. Everything that's happening now, the ongoing investigation, your vindication, the legal victories, the arrival of new love, the abundance of opportunities, all of it confirms that you made the right choice by prioritizing your own well-being over keeping toxic people comfortable. Your journey has become a living source of inspiration for those still trying to break free. Your story now serves as a guiding light for other chosen ones, reminding them that they too have the power and the right to choose themselves, even when that choice feels daunting. So continue to rise above the negativity of your past. Let the bitterness of others dissolve into the background as you focus on building a present filled with peace, purpose, and fulfillment. Embrace the blessings and opportunities flowing into your life, and keep attracting abundance that aligns with your elevated energy. Your mission as a light worker is only just beginning. Your influence, your healing, and your example are paving the path for miracles, not just in your life, but in the lives of all those who are touched by your light. That's all for today. Dear Father, I pray for the strengthening of my faith. Help me to trust you even when I can't see the evidence. Let me believe in your constant presence, knowing you would never harm me. I understand that your plans for me are filled with hope, prosperity, and a future full of promise. Thank you, gracious and eternal Father, for always hearing my voice. I lift this prayer in the name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, for your love, your provision, and your abiding presence. I'm truly grateful for the abundance you bring into my life. If this message resonated with you, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear these words. Leave a comment below and tell us about your journey and how you're preparing for your own triumphant return. If you'd like to support our work, consider contributing through Buy Me a Coffee. Your support helps us continue creating meaningful content. The link is in the description. No gift is too small, whether it's a penny, a prayer, or a share. Your kindness helps us spread God's word and bring hope to others. Don't stop here. Watch our next video for powerful insight into the signs that reveal you are one of the chosen. We've been honored to walk this spiritual path with you. Thank you for staying with us until the end. Keep shining your light and face your destiny with courage. See you next time. Blessings to all the beautiful souls from the